Polly Pocket. It is a core foundational shuffle move, and you see it in almost every single combo. It's sometimes referred to as the X step because from a bird's eye view, if you watch what the legs are doing, they're actually forming an X. But it's also known as the diagonal running man because it is really the same exact mechanics of the running man, just done on a diagonal instead of straight forward. And in this tutorial, I'm going to break this move down all the way into 5 different steps to help you build up the skills to get to the final Polly Pocket. Okay, so starting from step 1, we're just going to begin this by learning the Shaper Running Man. If you have not learned the Shaper Running Man or the Heels Running Man, I do have a separate tutorial, but I'm going to kind of go through that now for you anyway. So if you recall, when you learned the basic running man, it was a perch and an A shape. The Shaper Running Man is only slightly different in that we're not doing a tabletop perch, we're doing a figure 4 perch, which looks kind of like this. And then when we come down into the A shape, like you would do the running man, we're not going to land that way. We're actually going to land still in an A shape, kind of a mini A shape, on the heel. So really my A shape here is just from the knees down. But you'll notice when I did that, I did come off the center line. 1 foot went back, 1 foot went forward, and that's actually critical to being able to do the Shaper Running Man and also the Polly Pocket. So we're going to start with the Shaper Running Man with this figure 4. My weighted foot is on the center line. When I go out on the count, this bent knee is just going to kick forward and land on the heel, while my weighted leg hops back. And what's important here is landing on your toe, because even though you'll feel far more stable if you land flat-footed, that's not going to be possible to do when you're doing the Polly Pocket. You won't have time to flatten your foot out. So I want you to get in the habit now of starting here in this figure 4, landing out on toe and heel. And make sure you can do that on both sides. So I'm perched on my right foot now, left foot goes forward, landing on the heel, right foot lands on the toe. Now when you're doing this really slow, it's going to be really hard to keep your balance. That's okay, because by the time you're ready to do the Polly Pocket, you won't really have to worry about balance because you're going to be moving a lot faster. Okay, so one more time on this, starting on a left perch. My right foot's going to kick out, land on the heel. My left foot hops back, lands on the toe. Same thing from the other side. Right foot perch, left is going to go forward, right is going to go backward, heel and toe. And by the way, I'm not using my arms to demonstrate this, and I should be. Your arms are there to help you keep your balance. So keep your arms kind of out to the side. I'm going to talk about arms in just a little bit anyway. Okay, so once you have learned the Shaper Running Man and you're doing that landing pretty consistently, now it's time to keep doing it over and over and over again, just like you would do the basic running man, repeating left, right, left, right. So we'll start on a left perch, and we can just count this out as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and you can keep this going for as long as you can, eventually picking up a little speed. And you'll notice when I pick up a little speed, I am barely having a chance to tap down before I'm shifting position again. So again, as soon as you start going a little bit faster, you're not going to have to worry about balancing in this position for very long. And take as long as you need on this Shaper Running Man before you start trying to turn it into the Polly Pocket. Critically important in doing the Shaper Running Man is the weighted foot hopping backward onto the toe, from here to here. If you are not getting that hop back, and it doesn't actually have to be a really dramatic hop back, but you do have to get that foot off of the center line. So keep working on your Shaper Running Man until you're really confident that that back foot is getting off of the center line. Okay, and then after your Shaper Running Man is more ship shape, it's time to start turning it into a little mini Polly Pocket. And the way we're going to do that is just start to add a very gentle cross-body twist. So I'm going to show it to you from the front and then from the back. So we're starting in the same exact position, doing a Shaper Running Man, landing heel and toe, and then all I have to do is just barely twist my body so that I'm crossing that front leg over. Now, it's really important to make sure that the back leg is still getting off of the center line, because this is where a lot of people go wrong. They try to turn the move into a forward heel tap. This is not a Polly Pocket. So you need to make sure that that back leg is going where it needs to go. And the only way that you can really do that is to use a mirror. I know I harp on that all the time, but if you don't have a mirror, you have no idea what your back leg is doing. Even if you were to look down, you still can't see where your back foot is planting. So make sure that you use a mirror so that you can actually see if your form is correct. Okay, so let me show you how to do that from the back. So we started off with just a Shaper Running Man. Going forward, landing off of the center line, heel and toe. Now I'm just going to cross body a tiny bit to start getting the twist. So my heel crosses body, my back foot stays at the same angle. Because remember, you're trying to create an X here. So when the front leg is at an angle this way, the back leg is going to be at an angle this way, so you can get a whole arm of the X. Your center perch is at the intersection of the X. So one foot goes up to here, the other foot goes down to here. Okay, so back again. Starting on a center perch. Start off with some shaper running man, just going forward. Add in a tiny bit of twist, landing heel and toe at the diagonal. Okay, and then once that feels pretty good, we're going to go to step 4, which is simply just widening the twist. And I can actually do that exactly the same way as I went in to the mini twists. Start with a shaper running man, twist a little bit, twist a little bit more, twist a little bit more, and now you can see that I am getting both feet far off of the center perch position, not doing just a heel tap. So from the back, starting at the intersection of the X with the shaper running man, add a little twist, widen the twist. Okay, and I am going to warn you, this is a high impact, pretty intense move. Just adding that twist is really bringing up the energy intensity. So you're going to get physically fatigued on this move, possibly even faster than you'll get the mental fatigue. Okay, so coming out of step 4, make sure that you have a pretty wide twist, but more importantly, make sure you see what your back foot is doing, that it's actually kicking back off of the center line. And now we'll go on to step 5, which is the last step, and it's actually really, really under-discussed. When you do the Polly Pocket or any move that requires twisting, you're looking to create the illusion that your lower body is doing a whole bunch of movement while your upper body is staying really still and stable. But it is just an illusion because your upper body actually has to work opposite your legs in order to appear like it's still. And the way that you force your upper body to twist opposite your feet is by using your arms to keep your shoulders square to the front of the room. So when I do the Polly Pocket, cross body, twisting to the other side, I'm actually using my arms here to twist my torso so that my shoulders stay square to the front of the room. Then I'm going to return to perch, square up again, and then I'm going to go to the other side, twisting the other direction to still keep my shoulders square to the front of the room. So I'm going from here to here, here to here, and it is a fantastic oblique workout. Okay, so that is the Polly Pocket. I'm going to do it one more time, back with the music again, but I'm going to do it at half tempo. Okay, that's all there is to it. Let me know if you're having trouble with the Polly Pocket. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.